You're listening to the Geekcast Radio Network of podcasts.
Dad, I heard a clatter.
Somebody's on the roof.
Maybe it's Santa.
Not now, Charlie.
This Christmas, Scott Calvin's getting into the spirit the only way he can.
Hey, you!
By accident.
If something should happen to me, put on my suit. The reindeer will know what to do.
It is Santa. You killed him.
Did not.
Check out Santa's sleigh.
When you put on the suit, you fell subject to the Santa Claus.
The Santa Claus? What does that mean?
It means you put on the suit, you're the big guy. Ha!
Santa, how come your clothes are so baggy?
Do you want this doll or not? Go back to sleep.
I shave in the morning, in the afternoon. I look like this.
Oh, my God.
Calvin, your weight. What happened?
Bee sting.
What, you put on a little weight?
Does this look like a little weight to you?
You look distressed.
I'm way past distress. I'm talking to an elf.
He's not Santa.
Oh, my God.
He is too, Santa. Wait, I'm not done.
Fax me.
This is our perpetrator. This one's not going to be easy to find.
Won't the bright red suit and beard give him away?
Who's down there?
Santa, you're fatter this year.
Have a piece of fruit, for God's sake.
This holiday season,
It's coming!
Tim Allen is giving till it hurts.
Johnny, naughty. Gary, nice. Veronica, very nice.
The Santa Claus.
You're a 1,200-year-old elf? You look pretty good for your age.
Thanks, but I'm seeing someone in wrapping.
Hello and welcome to the 76th episode of M-Wire, brought to you by the Geekcast Radio Network. I'm your host, Joe Mike, and my co-host this time is Tara Rising Star Blair. How the hell do you say your last name? Blair, okay. Yes, it is December. It is Christmas time. So today we're going to be discussing the Santa Claus.
Yay.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. And how are you doing tonight?
Pretty good.
Good.
I'm hoping that the storm doesn't. I'm hoping that it doesn't snow tonight or tomorrow morning because I have to go somewhere. So I'm hoping. We're recording this Wednesday night, December 15th, and I'm hoping that tomorrow, Thursday, it does not snow between tonight and tomorrow morning because I have to go somewhere at like 9 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, that sucks. I hate when weather interferes when you have to go somewhere.
It's just, yeah, especially in my case where I have to walk everywhere, and it's like, oh, God.
I don't blame you. It's happened to me twice. One time when I had to go to a photo shoot, and another time when I was going to a TV recording, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to this, and I'm driving in a snowstorm. They better be happy.
So what's been going on with you?
Nothing much. I am just finishing up my third semester of broadcasting and film, and it went really fast, and I'm just finishing exams, and then after tomorrow, I'm done. I'm done for 2010. And then I get to relax for 3 weeks, and then go and do it all over again.
Yeah. I know, yeah, it's one of those things where we just, over at This Week in Geek, we just finished up our last topic show of 2010, which was our 2010 holiday gift guide. So Twig will be on a hiatus until January 9th of next year, so that's that's done. But just because This Week in Geek guys are going on hiatus doesn't mean that we are. We still have at least, I think, 10 releases between now and New Year's Day. So, yeah. Yeah, we stay busy.
I know you guys have been busy. Like, super busy.
Yeah. So I guess, let's see, where are we going to go with this? Santa Claus. When did you, neither one of us have seen this in the theaters, right?
No, I've never saw it in theaters.
Yeah. Just to get some history stuff out of the way here, Santa Claus is a 1994 American fantasy comedy film directed by John Pasquin, distributed by Buena Vista Pictures Distribution Incorporated, starring Tim Allen, and in the film, Allen plays Scott Calvin, an ordinary man who accidentally causes Santa Claus to fall from his roof on Christmas Eve and being knocked unconscious. When he and his young son finish Santa's trip and deliveries, they go to the North Pole, where Scott learns he must become the new Santa and convince those he loves that he is indeed Father Christmas. Oh, boy. That's just the brief overall plot. What were your initial thoughts on this movie when you first saw it?
I loved it. I thought it was great. I really enjoyed watching it. It was funny. It had a great plot. It had great characters. And I loved the whole aspect of Tim Allen's character becoming the actual Santa Claus. And I thought it was funny. Just, he knocks Santa, like Santa falls off the roof, and then he gets his coat, and he puts it on, and boom, he's Santa Claus. I enjoyed that.
I like all the references and the different stuff. Like when he's reading his son the Night Before Christmas story, he's like, "What's a clatter?" and then the joke later on with the ladder, Rose, such a clatter company. Because that was funny. Oh man, there's just so many good things about this. Isn't like one of the best Christmas movies of all time, but it's one of those ones that you can't help but to watch at Christmas time.
Mm-hmm.
The entire franchise is like that, I think.
I agree with you on that. I think it's a great film. It's a great series of movies, and they're not like you said, they're not classic Christmas movies. But they're still enjoyable to watch, and they're even more enjoyable to watch around the holiday season, but you can still watch it even when it's not the holiday season.
Right, yeah.
So it does its job.
Yes. What was your favorite scene in this one?
My favorite scene in this movie was when Santa gets knocked off the roof. He's like, and Tim Allen's character goes out, and he's like, "Hey, what are you doing on my roof?" And Santa is just like, "Whoa," and he falls down, and then...
Wasn't the line like, "Ho, ho, whoa"?
Yes, it was like, "Ho." It was so funny. I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
It's a memorable moment. It's a memorable moment from that film.
Yeah, it is. Very, very much so. For me, it's... One of the things I absolutely love about this film, this is the first time I had seen Judge Reinhold in a while. And his character, Dr. Neil Miller, oh man, just classic psychologist. Oh God. Thank God I dodged that bullet going into that field.
It's hilarious.
Yeah. I like all of the Santa stuff, like the hot chocolate stuff, the elves, or the elfs, the ELFS.
Oh, they're so cute.
Yeah, I love that stuff. I like Santa's flame retardant suit. That was kind of cool. I like all the really, really cool inventions that they came up with. Was it this movie they did the vertical takeoff?
I cannot remember.
I think it was this movie that they did the vertical takeoff instead of having the reindeer run and slide.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Salem. Yes, we are Ustreaming episode 76, so we've got a couple of fans in the audience here, and yes, it was this film with the vertical takeoff. What did you think of the effects as far as the chimney stuff?
You know what? They were pretty well done for the time this movie came out.
Yeah.
They were pretty realistic. They didn't look fake or cheesy or anything, and they were believable.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed it. I thought they really added to the film.
Yeah, it kind of begs the question. I mean, yes, Santa Claus is magical, but it kind of does beg the question: what does happen when you've got a house that doesn't have a fireplace? I mean, what's he do? Pick the lock on the back door, for Christ's sakes?
Yeah, it definitely did answer the question of how does Santa get into the chimney and how does he get into the house?
Yeah.
Because I mean, kids never really thought of that. They just thought like, oh, okay, he just, he comes down the chimney. He must, have some way to like squeeze in the chimney. But I mean, this was just awesome because we got to see it, and I thought it was cool.
I love the cause and effect with when Scott first takes over and does that initial run, and he goes into Sarah's house, the one that the chimney the fireplace just appears out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
that is hilarious.
If I could turn an old heater into a fireplace, that would be awesome. But I love the effects because it's not just I don't mean the special effects. I mean the cause and effect of that scene compared to the end of the movie, because he tells her all this stuff that he's losing weight, he's watching his weight, he's lactose intolerant, and everything else. At the end of the movie, he goes to drink the milk because he's obviously fully Santified by now, and he's like, blah, blah, what is this? It's soy milk. And he's like, okay, what? And she said, you said you were lactose intolerant. Oh, right.
I lied. I lied. It's hilarious.
Yeah,
you know what?
It's just so funny.
Tim Allen does such a great job of being Santa Claus. He really does.
Yeah, he does.
Like, he pulls off the character really well, and when he put the Santa suit on and you see him fully, like, as you said, Santified, like, he looks so cuddly and, like, so, like, I want to hug him. Like, I loved the way Santa was portrayed in this movie.
Yeah, it was just awesome. This is by far one of my favorite. This whole series, this whole story that they've got going on in this in these three movies is just great as far as Santa, because it's a different take on Santa. I mean, it's a normal guy, and it's this whole thing of, anybody can be Santa.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not saying that any one person should be, obviously there's a special kind of person that needs to be Santa Claus, but the whole point of the Santa Claus is if you did what Tim did, or if you did what Scott did, and you read the card, you put the coat on, because it's cold outside, you're stuck.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of those things where it's one of my favorite movies that actually deals with Santa Claus himself.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole Claus thing. I didn't. There's not a lot of movies that specifically deal with Santa directly like this one does that I like. There just isn't a whole lot of other ones that I like that.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there. I mean, to be honest, this is the first movie that I really got a feel for Santa Claus. To be honest, like it was the first time I'd seen Santa Claus in the movie, because I was too young when I first saw it to be interested in watching classics like It's a Wonderful Life. Well, not A Wonderful Life, but any old classic Christmas movies that had Santa in it.
Yeah.
I was too young to understand that, but when I saw Tim Allen as Santa, I really got a feel for Santa Claus.
Yeah, Salem is pointing out in the chat about the fact that this is kind of a way to portray a young Santa Claus, or somewhat, he doesn't know all the answers, somewhat young guy as far as taking on the old man appearance and everything else, but he's still a young guy. Mm-hmm. And it's funny, the way I look at that is every time you see John and Martha Kent, Superman's parents, majority of the time they're portrayed as old people.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas in Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman, they were portrayed as young, kind of hipster, not really hipsters, but I mean they were involved more in Clark's life than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
That's because he hasn't got his weenie whistle yet, Bob. Bob in the chat said Neil doesn't believe in Santa. He will by the end of the movie.
Yep.
Getting into the who's who of the movie as far as the cast and everything else, you've got Tim Allen as Scott Calvin / Santa Claus, Judge Reinhold as crap. What hell's his last name? Hold on.
I think it's Miller. Is it Miller?
Oh yeah, I know. Damn it.
I have it right here.
No, I know, but you got Judge Reinhold, a.k.a. Billy Rosewood, as Neil Miller.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was going for the Beverly Hills Cop reference.
Oh, oops.
You got Wendy Crewson as Laura Calvin Miller, Eric Lloyd as Charlie Calvin, David Krumholtz as Bernard the Head Elf. I actually like that guy a lot.
That was an awesome character.
Yeah, not really, but I like the actor that plays him. I like what he's done in a bunch of other stuff as well, and I really enjoyed him. I think the first time I ever saw him, I think it might have been before this or after this, I'm not sure. I think the first time I ever saw him might have been this movie, but like the next time I saw him was in 10 Things I Hate About You.
I love that movie.
He played the Michael character.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, the one that got on the motor scooter and went flailing down the
nerd.
Down the hill, yeah, the nerd. Yes. You've got Larry Brandenburg as Detective Nunzio, Mary Gross as Miss Daniels, Paige Tamanda as Judy the Elf, Peter Boyle as Mr. Whittle, Kerrigan Mahan as Kerrigan Mahan and Frank Welker as the reindeer's voices, and Rebecca Ott as herself. Who was your favorite character in the first film?
Definitely Scott Calvin. I like him. I like his character a lot. I like the fact that in the beginning, he's completely clueless, and then by the end of the film, he gets it. I like him a lot. And I also liked Bernard. Yeah, I did too. Bernard was funny, and then all the elves that work for Santa, I loved them too.
Yep.
They were cute.
I like Charlie a little bit because he brings out because Scott is just completely against being Santa Claus. Mm-hmm. He's like, no, I work for a toy company, and blah, 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 and all, first the list comes, and then it's like 20 million boxes, or however many boxes it was, with the list. It's like, oh God, that's got to be daunting.
Oh, jeez.
Have the entire list show up at your house in the middle of July.
Oh God. You know something? It reminded me also of a scene, I think, is it Bruce Almighty? Yeah, in Bruce Almighty, same thing happens when he becomes God.
Yeah.
And he gets all the prayers and everything.
Yeah. And
he's like, first he made it Post-it notes, and it like covers him and like the whole room he's in.
Yeah.
And then he makes it go on I think, email. That was hilarious.
Yeah. What do you mean you wonder why he wasn't in the third one, Bob? It's so hilarious about just all the different things that happen in this movie. It's just I don't know why. I mean, it's trying not to badmouth it, but at the same time I can see why people probably wouldn't like it. But I don't understand why people don't like it in general. Mm-hmm. I mean, like I said before, it's not a full-on classic Christmas movie, but it's still a good one. I mean, It's no Elf, for Christ's sake. I hate that movie. Will Ferrell kissed.
Oh, Elf? Oh, that was such a bad movie.
I hate that movie.
Oh, I watched it when it first came out out of curiosity on DVD, and I'm like, what am I watching?
Yeah.
Oh, God. That movie never should have been made.
No, it shouldn't have been.
I'm sorry. Sorry to anyone who's listening or tuning in right now who likes that movie, but I think it's awful.
Yeah, it is awful. There is no thinking. It just is. Of course, then again, it's a Will Ferrell movie, so.
Yeah. Well, he can be a good actor in some things. I mean, he was pretty good in The Producers. He was. He did a good job in that movie. I'll give him that. But Elf? Ugh, no.
Oh yeah, Bob. Bernard wasn't in the third one because I don't think it was said why, but it was kind of hinted at that what's his name, Curtis, was going to take over. We'll talk about that later on, not tonight, probably tomorrow night when we talk about the third film. As far as Salem in the chat says about the about Tim's character's ability to figure out the people that are nice and naughty, and he sees a woman and says very naughty because I think it was one of the women in like lingerie or I don't know, she had like some trench coat on and whatever else on her. She made some wicked smile at him or something. That was very, very cool. I'm going to get into some trivia bits here. The zoo where Scott takes Charlie is actually the Toronto Zoo in Scarborough, Ontario, Canada.
That's funny. Oh, I've been there so many times. Had no idea that this movie had a scene filmed there.
Actually, the majority of the movie was filmed in Toronto.
Nice.
Yes.
Represent.
During the tour of the workshop, Scott Calvin tries out a tool belt. And he shakes his head as if to indicate that tools aren't for him. This is obviously a reference to Tim Allen's then-hit TV show, Home Improvement, where his character in life, Tim the Toolman Taylor, revolved around tools.
That's hilarious.
Yes. When the kids scream, "Let him go, let Santa go," that is a reference to Miracle on 34th Street from 1947. I don't believe this. I don't think I could ever see this in my entire life. There's no way that this movie would be there's no way this series would be what it is if this had happened. The role of Scott Calvin / Santa Claus was written with Bill Murray in mind.
No.
I'm sorry, all you Ghostbusters fans out there, Bob Glimmer, I'm looking at you. I just cannot see Peter Venkman as Santa Claus.
No. Oh, jeez. If they would have done that,
I just can't see Bob. Oh, God, I just can't see Bill Murray as Santa Claus. There's just no way.
No.
No way.
Oh, God.
Let's see here. Let's see. Among the individuals seen on the first page of Santa's list are Andre Agassi and Armand DeSanti. Wow. What in the hell? What the hell? That's a little strange. Get this. Scheduling conflicts with another film forced Chevy Chase to turn down the role of Scott Calvin / Santa Claus. So you got Bill Murray and Chevy Chase that could have potentially been Santas. Again, there's no way that this movie would be what it is if they had gotten the role. Yeah, well, I mean, Chevy had a previous engagement or something, and like another movie he was working on was going to conflict with the schedule for Santa Claus. Let's see here. We have a James Bond reference in this movie. When Charlie and Santa return to the North Pole for the new Christmas, Bernard introduces the techno-savvy elf Quentin, who proceeds to tell Santa about the gadgets and sleigh he now has. This is a nod to James Bond series character Q. Rest in peace, Desmond Llewellyn. One of the things that I think is very interesting as far as the DVD and the movie itself, I didn't know this before I read this bit of trivia, but the movie reveals that Santa Claus's favorite snack is cookies and favorite drink is hot chocolate. The DVD released bonus material contains 3 recipes on how to make Santa's favorite pizza, cookies, and hot chocolate, and short videos demonstrating the cooking procedures.
Oh, you're making me hungry now. I love hot chocolate, just saying that.
Yeah, I do too. I have to read this bit of trivia. I have to read the next 2 bits because this is a Disney film. A scene was cut for being offensive. Tim Allen made a sarcastic remark in the movie, including the line, 1-800-SPANK-ME. When a child decided to call the number, it turned out to be a phone sex line. The child's mother's complaint had the scene cut.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's not good, Disney. What the hell?
Oh, God.
Come on, Disney. What the hell?
I'm not surprised, though.
I'm not surprised either.
1-800-SPANK ME?
Yeah.
What scene? Is this scene even, like, online or anything?
I'm not sure if it is or not. It just says that it was a cut scene.
Oh, jeez. I want to see that now. That's hilarious.
Tim Allen has a criminal record, and Disney has a no hiring of ex-cons policy. An exception was made in this case.
Didn't know that.
Well, the only reason why I knew this is because I had seen, like, one of those True Hollywood Stories or Behind the Music. I mean, obviously Tim Allen's not in music, but, one of those, Where Are They Now type specials. And I knew that Tim Allen had a criminal record. Plus, I had read one of his. I think I read his very first book. I forget what it's called. I think it's "Don't Stand Too Close to a Naked Man" or something. I don't know. Look Tim Allen up on Amazon under books, and you'll find it.
So what did he do? Like,
I can't remember off the top of my head. This is the only Santa Claus movie that didn't contain a villain.
Interesting.
And when Laura looks at the Mystery Date game, the music we hear is the jingle of the old television commercials for the board game. I don't know. Every time I see that scene of her looking at at the end of the movie when she gets the game and she opens it up and says, "Oh, it's Mystery Date," and I hear that little music, I know it's from the commercial for the game. But I always hear Axel Foley and Billy Rosewood just singing the dating game song.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm weird like that. Oh, Salem, that's not right. Oh boy, I'm not repeating that on air.
It's going to get us in trouble, isn't it? If we read that on air.
No, it's not getting us in trouble, but...
that jerk from iTunes will come back.
Jerk from... I'm not worried. I don't think anybody pays any attention to M-Wire, so I'm not worried about that.
Good.
So, let's go to the box office. What do we got at the box office, Tara?
So, you know what? This film actually did pretty well, and it grossed over $144 million in the U.S. alone, and, actually over $189 million worldwide. It actually became a box office hit, which is pretty good. And the film, it was generally received well by the critics, and it has a fresh rating of 79% on Rotten Tomatoes, 31 positive reviews from 39 counted, and an average rating of 6.1 out of 10. And what they have to say about the consensus from the site is the Santa Claus is utterly undemanding, but it's firmly rooted in the sort of good old-fashioned holiday spirit, missing from too many modern Yuletide films. Interesting.
Yes. As far as... Okay, well... My hand hitting the trash can. Lovely. As far as the IGN replacement crew, for those of you who are on the Ustream chat, we have 4 options. Number 1, don't watch this even if it's free. 2, worth a watch if it's free on TV. 3, worth adding to the Netflix list. Or 4, this one is a must-add to your DVD collection. If I still had a DVD collection, I would add it.
I'm going to have to agree. I think it is a must-add. It definitely is a must-add. It was awesome.
Even if people don't want this in their DVD collection, it's still worth a watch if it's free on TV. Because, like I've said this whole episode so far, it's a pretty good Christmas movie. I mean, there's, let's face it, between parades and reruns of whatever TNT show, Leverage or Supernatural or whatever, in between those and 24 hours of A Christmas Story, if this pops on, it's a good watch.
I agree.
Yes. The film, getting into the DVD releases, the film has been released on VHS in 95, standard widescreen DVD in 98, and special edition DVD in 2002. The Santa Claus, along with 2 and 3, were released in a 3-movie DVD collection as well. And there are 2 sequels, which we will be getting to shortly. Actually, we're going to do another episode of M-Wire coming up here. For those of you who are in the live stream, we're going to do Santa Claus 2 here in a bit. So, final thoughts on the first Santa Claus, Tara?
I loved it, and I really enjoyed watching it. It had humor, it had a great plot, just everything about it, I loved it. And I really recommend, if you've never seen any of these movies, start with number 1. You won't be disappointed. You'll really enjoy watching it. And if you have kids, show it to your kids, because chances are they've probably never heard of it. So just show it to them and let them get into the holiday spirit with this movie. You won't regret it.
I completely agree. So
that's a first.
Yes. No, it's not a first.
No.
Anyways, it's probably a first for this episode, but I don't know. Yeah, it's one of those movies that this one especially. We didn't really talk too much about the reindeer comedy bits with Comet.
Oh, that was so funny.
He ate all the candy.
Oh, no.
Talk about, for all you hunters out there, talk about a fat buck.
The reindeers were cute. I love the reindeers.
That reindeer meat will keep people fed for years.
Oh, yes. Yes. It'll feed people. It's good eating. But don't say that in front of the kids, because they'll cry.
Yeah, I know. Oh, wow. So funny, so funny. Oh, man. Yes. Do you have anything you want to pimp out, Tara, before we close the show?
Well, yeah, if anyone's interested, you can find me on Twitter and follow my Twitter. It's Tara Blair. You can probably find me, it's on the site in the host bio, so just follow me from there. And check out my YouTube. It's same as my username, RisingStar9109. And yeah, just feel free to check that out.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us here on M-Wire Movie Week in Review. There are some ways to get in contact with us or leave feedback for the show. Visit the website, geekcastradio.com. Leave the show's feedback in iTunes. Please do this. Follow us on Twitter. The short name there is GCRN M-Wire. Mine is TFG1Mike. Become a fan on Facebook. Go to facebook.com/geekcastradio network. Call our voicemail line. Tell us the show you're leaving the message for and your name. 502-526-5821. We hope you enjoyed this episode of M-Wire Movie Week in Review. Wish you'll join us next time when we'll be reviewing The Santa Claus 2, The Mrs. Claus. For now, I am TFG1Mike with
Rising Star.
Thank you for listening. Until next time.
Charlie? Yeah?
Don't worry. We're the good guys. Come on, let's go save Santa.
I can't. The police are watching this place.
Yeah, they probably are. But you see, we weren't figuring on walking out the front door. We find that we can get around a lot faster if we fly. Now, grab hold of my hand and hang on tight. And Charlie?
Yeah?
Don't ever try this without elf supervision. We're looking for Santa Claus.
Go home, kids. Visiting hours are over.
We're not kids. And we're not visiting.
We're here to bust up my dad.
You're the Calvin boy. Who are these other kids?
We're your worst nightmare. Elves with attitude.
That donut.
Untie me. I mean it.
Charlie.
Are you okay, Dad?
I am now. How'd you do that?
Tinsel, not just for decoration.
In a world, there, I said it, happy